Now this is another example where it just tells us to factor, and we look at all four terms to see if there's a greatest common factor, which there isn't. So when that happens, and also when we see four terms, we try to do what's called factor by grouping. And to do factor by grouping, we group the first two terms together, just putting them in parentheses, and the second two terms together. Now we have to be careful when we group the second two terms, because there's a minus sign here. When we put the two second terms in parentheses, notice how we have the minus here, and in parentheses 5x plus 5y. And that's because if we wanted to go back to the original polynomial, the negative sign would distribute all the way through, giving us from here to here negative 5x, and from here to here negative 5y. So the rule of thumb there is when there's a negative sign in front of a group, watch the signs inside the parentheses. Now we look at the first group and try to figure out if there's a greatest common factor in the first group. Well, they both have a 2, both terms have a 2 and an x. So from the first group we're going to factor out 2x. And when we do that, when we factor out 2x, oops, not 2xy, just 2x. When we factor out the 2x from the first group, what's left over when we factor 2x from 2x squared is just 1x. And when we factor 2x from the second term, we have just y. And we can confirm that we're correct by taking the 2x times the x, which would give us 2x squared, and the 2x times the y, which would give us 2xy. From the second group, we can factor out a 5. So take out the 5, and inside the parentheses, we're left with x plus y. Alright, now we take a look at the two terms, 2x times x plus y minus 5 times x plus y, and we can see that x plus y is common to both. So our GCF now is x plus y. And we'll factor out that GCF by, as always, writing down the GCF times something. Alright, to figure out what the something is, when we take the x plus y and factor it out of the first term, the only thing left is 2x. Bring down our subtraction. And we factor out the GCF from the second term, all that's left is 5. And that's it. That's the complete factorization.